Good evening. Welcome to the monthly meeting of the ASCA Board of Directors. Today is April 16th, 2026. On the call tonight is Executive Secretary Calajaco, First Vice President Chuck Klein, Second Vice President Ann McCabe, Treasurer Diana Williams, Secretary Tanya Johnson, Directors Sue Kelly, Jerry Scheit, Jillian Ward, and myself, Jody McClellan. Next on the agenda is the March 2026 Treasurer's Report. Diana.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so I'll be posting the P&L to the website tomorrow, but in the meantime, I'll just give you a quick overview. Our income was up a little bit, about 13,000 from February, so March income is 86,867.20. Of that, we had $4,500 of miscellaneous income, which was the dividends off of our credit cards I have been saving up. So I transferred that over to our operating account the month of March. And the reason I transferred it over is I've slated that to pay for the upgrade on the office computers. So this way, in my opinion, it's not really costing us any extra cash outlay. We're using the interest earned on the credit cards. We also have income of almost $2,400 from our marketing special that we had in the way of t-shirts for the month of March. So that's not all the money either. There's still some more late payments that came in April. So that's where our extra income came from in March. Under expenses, I don't see anything outstanding that was out of the ordinary. We did have to pay another deposit to our legal fee trust account. So that's always a little bit of a hit. That was $5,000. But our expenses in general were a little low for March. They were $63,452.11, which gave us a net operating income of $23,415.09. One thing I do have to look at is I've got to go back to our expenses. We had a $5,800 payment to taxes, which was not actually budgeted, and it wasn't last year's. So I need to go back to Brazos, find that bill. See, I assume that's property taxes. Maybe that was hiding somewhere else last year, but I'm going to track that down and see exactly what it was last year versus this year. So I'll give you a little update on that later. Let me flip over to cash available. Our operating account with Chase is at 173,242.24, so we're up on that. I think we should transfer some of that into savings. We don't need that much of an operating balance moving forward. Our wire account is at $100. Our savings account is at $54,193.72. Our AEMD account is at $30,546.25. The foundation account balance is $22,450.72 for a total cash on hand of $280,532.93. Even though our cash is up, that's down from last month because we moved some into the Vanguard interest-bearing accounts. So our savings account with Vanguard is at $264,825.60. Our AEMD there is $30,166.19, and our foundation account is at $52,122.27 for a total funds of $627,646.99. We did move the 27 and 29 Nationals account over to the new QuickBooks Nationals company. So that's no longer in the general log-on for QuickBooks any longer. And so there's $3,000 there. We discussed this at the spring meeting that will go up once that account becomes active to the starting balance of $10,000. The 26 Nationals account right now has $14,322.12. Like I said last month and at the spring board meeting, that really hasn't increased any. There's not a lot of cash flow going into that account yet. We also discussed at the spring board meeting that I'll be moving money from savings and AEMD and foundation over to Vanguard because they're gaining pretty quickly in the interest-bearing accounts. So I'll be moving those this coming week. I was just waiting to after taxes were over and to see where we were in March, and I only got the statements today because of the tax month. But I will be moving that over next week sometime. Any questions? Okay, so since we have no questions, I make a motion that we accept the March 2026 financials as presented.
There's a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor of approving the March 2026 Treasury Report?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, motion carries. Thanks, Diana.
You're welcome.
Next on the agenda is Sue with the IT report. Sue.
All right. Yes. So we now have the grandfather dates report on the website, and you can set filters for clubs, states, a lot of filters. Frank Butera designed it and got feedback, and now it's published to the website. So anybody can go out there and see who has what dates. So that reporting database that we set up is being used and a very useful tool. Microsoft is decommissioning Azure, and Kathy looked it up, and we aren't using anything on that, and so we're safe for that. The next meeting includes the programmer, and I always get a lot more information on where we're at with things there. The new programmer, Kathy, has really been working hard, and I see things starting to move along faster. And that's all I have.
Sorry, thanks, Sue. Appreciate it. The last thing on the agenda is the email, last month's email of business. Can I get somebody making a motion for that?
I move to approve last month's email business.
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion to approve last month's email business. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, motion carries. That is it for our meeting tonight, everybody. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good evening. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.